Yeah, so not that surprising. How do you feel about this Pugna?
Just like a standard Pugna. I think it allows you to mirror the aggression, right? If Chen takes one tower, Pugna's off on the other side of the map doing the other. It can dictate a little bit the early game. It's a nice body to play behind Primal Beast. It also provides the same healing. I think it's not the freest Pugna game because obviously Celery with his micro, you should expect some Centaur Stomps to be chasing down the Pugna and preventing those life drains, or the general grouping and desire to be as 5 will prevent Pugna from wanting to stand his ground. You know, throwing a CK on the mix as well, like that is such an aggressive lane. If this is your safe lane, it's like you see hero, they die. Like Pugna wants to kind of play on the fringe, and if you're reality rifted back in during laning phase, you're probably going to be dead, right? So
yeah,
spooky safe lane. If this is their 5-in-1 combo, of course, a little bit of flexibility, is available with the CK.
I mean, it makes sense to me that this is the 5-1 and this is the 3-4, right? Because like, otherwise, I don't think you pick the Chaos Knight as aggressively here in the draft. But
so in draft speak, like they pick up their position 4 here, they see 2 more heroes, and then they can decide where the CK goes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So as long as they pick up if they pick up a strong ranged 4 hero, actually they don't even need to go ranged. As long as they pick up like a really strong 4, I can kind of play with a potential offlane CK, but also enable the rotation of the Chen. It's fine. So they go for an SD, which it's quite a lane securing 4 in that regard. Also provides another dispel for, just a dispel for the Naga Siren, but it isn't the strongest laner. And now we just try to exploit that a little bit by picking up the Enchantress to body that lane. Of course, the old Ench vs Chen matchup. Who's creep, my creep, your creep. But
I like the Shadow Demon as a response to the Pugna as well, right? Like the Demonic Purge is not going to be, or is going to basically make it a lot more difficult for Pugna to get these like clutch saves. I don't know. The Naga Siren seems pretty free at the moment, so I'm curious what Gaimin Gladiators want to do here. I don't think you can take the Chaos Knight to the off lane now to deal with this. So, what options do you really have?
I want to see Pudge carry. I want to see CK off lane Pudge carry. I think that would actually be insanely good.
Dyrachyo really likes Pudge too, actually.
Yeah. I think something like this would then utilize the CK pick quite nicely. And okay, unfortunate that I was so ready to put all my chips on that corner, but they do go for the Centaur. So now the lanes are just going to be very robust, right? You got Centaur with that SD, just a lot of farm. If we can see the Centaur by Ace get played kind of like Pured in that previous game, of like game 1 of the previous series, sorry, whereas like non-stop just hoof stomp double edge, then it can be too much to handle. Of course, blocking camps against Enchantress will be very useful, but this type of draft from Gaimin screams, yo, Quinn, can you please like bring it together, right? Like if Pangolo was available, they're picking Pango, but they banned out themselves. Like that's the type of hero that I think I want to see from Quinn.
Yeah, it's a good Necro pick ban here as well. That would have been pretty gross. Like he struggles a lot with positioning in fights, but Stampede fixes those issues like immediately.
5 seconds remaining.
They don't have last pick in the draft though.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's not as if they're going to be able to see everything. That's why like the Necro ban is of course pretty good as well, because it's like a generic ban. It has AoE damage to annoy the Naga Siren, the supports. They can rotate to mid, but if there's a tanky enough hero there, they can't ever really kill him off and take the tower.
Gaimin,
okay, they banned a Huskar, so I was like,
Quinn Huskar.
If you want to cheese, there's a little bit of Huskar still available, but yeah, it's gone.
We're gonna see the Dark Mago Classics. I would be, I mean, they could honestly just ban his Tiny here. It's not something that gets picked a lot, but Dark Mago will definitely still play it in the mid lane if it's a decent Tiny game. So depending on what Quinn wants to go, could see that. You still have the Lina and like, Queen of Pains.
Picking Invoker into Pugna can be sometimes annoying, but like, I could see some just super generic type mid hero that provides just team fighting control. They do ban out the Tiny like you mentioned, but
dude, it's just all comfort picks from Dark Mago removed. More than anything, that is just like, that is just what always happens against this guy. And there it is, the Lina.
They go for the Lina, yeah. Just here, let's push out the lane. There's so much protection in this game actually that Lina just looks very nice. So rather than, it's like CK will be in the fight, Centaur will be in the fight. You got Stampede to help Lina reposition if she is jumped. There's not many stuns for Wawitas, right? It's like you got an ensnare, which is a root. You got an ench slow. You've got Primal's toolkit, and then whatever this last pick is.
Should be Zeus.
So Lina should in theory be pretty good. Zeus.
I mean, maybe it's too squishy, but I don't know what else you pick here. It's like I'm trying to think if there's a hero that actually like beats the Lina lane, but Zeus at least gives you the vision and also helps a lot with these like tanky CK and Centaur heroes.
They have like no initiation though with that logic, because it's like they only have Primal, and that is unfortunately the situation of their draft, right? Because they've got like, if you replaced Pugna with, let's say, a Tusk, right? Picking a Zeus doesn't feel bad because now you got Tusk Primal to do your initiation, Naga is your map play, Zeus is your vision. Draft looks fine. But because you have an Ench and a Pugna with a Naga who naturally plays backwards, this mid hero kind of needs to help continue bodying for his team, but also doing the damage and the catch. It's like you're asking so much from one last pick, and I think this unfortunately is what often happens with Wawitas and their last picks. Is it kind of like they stumble their way to this point where they've reacted, and now it's like, what is like the pick of everything? And of course, there isn't always the perfect hero, so they need to kind of make some compromises. And okay, they go for a Storm.
It's a game counter, but that is a rough lane matchup. You know, in terms of getting to the Chen, finding the Shadow Demon, or even the Lina in the late game, that does typically work pretty well, but your lane is going to be rough. To my knowledge, this is not a fun matchup.
Yeah, so of course Storm Spirit, even though he's a ranged hero, he naturally positions in kind of melee range due to the fact he wants to use his remnants to farm waves. So that always gives Lina free LSA hits. On top of that, Lina's high range, so when Storm comes in, the distance traveled to get back to the tower is also just 2 or 3 right clicks over time. So yeah, it's very much like a Lina favored laning matchup. But for the game, of course, I think Wawitas, they want to play this get some items and execute style logic, right? Both Oscar and Dark Mega need to play together, and there's no real rebuttal from Gaimin. It's like you've got great defensive capabilities from Centaur, SD, and Chen, but if you jump them with high speed and damage, then like SD is deleted, there's no save. Stampede won't matter whilst you're dying in the Vortex alone, right? So yeah, I can see why they went for the Storm Spirit. It's push out the lanes with the Naga, push out the lanes with the Ench, use the Storm and Primal to find the supports. If the supports are dead, that's when you look to kill everyone else off. But we'll see if they can even get through lane, because yeah, Quinn should have a very good time.
Well, I'm curious to see how this one's going to play out. I'm excited. I mean, Gaimin Gladiators draft seems pretty straightforward. Their timings are going to be, I mean, I think overall their lanes are going to be good, so their timing should be pretty good, but we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. I don't know. I have faith in Wawitas. I think these guys, you know, have moments of brilliance like we saw yesterday where, you know, they managed to take game 2 against Betboom. So Gaimin Gladiators, I would say they definitely respect their opponents. They're not a team to just like underestimate, you know.
I think you also kind of hit the nail on the head there as well in the draft, because you mentioned that a lot of comfort bands were going the way of Dark Mega as well. Like you get to second pick on a mid laner, but like 5 or 6 of his best heroes are already removed from the game. So it's not as if he can even pick up like, oh, this is a good hero for this. Like this is the best of the rest of the stuff he likes to play, right? And again, we'll see if he can pop off and can utilize it. For CK, it isn't the best CK game, right? Going into a Naga Siren, going into ultra late game into Storm with Ags and Vortex, it's could get spooky if Gaimin do stall it out, but
we got a really quick smoke wrap around here.
Yeah.
Ooh, how do you feel about this high ground?
Oh, like, they see him, boys. Hi.
Did they see him? Did they get vision for a sec?
Yeah, SD broke on tower.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, I'm happy we're seeing at least new movements, right? It's always the same position, right? We get to see a bit of life from Gaimin.
That's a cool one. So Lumiere's Naga Siren, I think this is going to kind of be like the glimmer of hope that Wawitas is going to have. Like if he's able to come out of the lane in a pretty good spot, get to his item timings, like he is very scary to deal with this game. Like the Lina isn't enough. Like you're going to have to rely on Centaur as well as, you know, the CK finding the real Naga Siren to actually kill him. As bottom lane, they're going to be able to find Knight here. The LSA into the Chaos Bolt as he's going to try and make his way to the tower. The Fairy Fire gets popped, but Quinn gets the first blood. Ooh. And that is going to make your mid lane real rough because that is a bottle on the courier.
Already coming out. Yeah, that is not the start you want. And especially in a matchup that we said is meant to be favoring the Lina here. See how Stormspirit can respond to that.
He needs
survival
to get all
is how he should respond.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job. He blocked the wave long enough so that it pushed to his tower. He's playing on his own high ground. He just gets his immediate level 2, takes a little bit of harassment, but at least gets himself pretty close to his bottle. But yeah, Quinn's going to be able to abuse this regen advantage pretty heavily.
The lane's kind of going a little bit back and forth right now on mid, right? Like the lane's getting shoved in, so now both lanes are now pushing back to Storm. It isn't that kind of perfect, even equilibrium that you kind of expect. Tofu trying to go for the body block onto Panda, doesn't find that.
That's always
with
great.
the level 1 disruption. Yeah, I love the fact that we see the kind of adaptation of SD. It used to always be like level 1 poison, spam it out, but Ace is actually under tower. Okay.
The double ring of protection is enough. Very nice. And mid lane Dark Mago is waiting for that bottle. He is counting down the seconds till this thing gets delivered.
He is desperate for it.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Top lane, by the way, I'm not sure if you happen to catch it, but Panda's courier actually got sniped by Tofu when he was chasing after him, and it had a whole new set of regen and a sentry. So Tofu knows that he has no more sentries coming, and he's just gonna reblock the camp. So yeah, pretty rough.
Just the resources, right? Wawitas are struggling. Dark Mega can't even go near the lane. Look, just to remind everyone, they picked the Storm Spirit ultimately last in the draft. They're trying to punish in some capacity, but not in the lane. Quinn going to go for the 1v1 duel with the creep wave. Oh, he's fine. He had the
attack slow. Yeah, I mean, he tried to get him with the attack slow from Overload, but I mean, this is just
not even a loser wave, by the way. Like he TP's back to base, but the wave's on the tower. So Storm, not only does he die, he loses the flag bearer wave. Now creates a double wave, which is going to push towards Quinn. I don't think Quinn's going to even miss.
He's going to miss like maybe
CS from this, unless he aggroes it on the tower, which he's still not doing. He did not miss a single creep of XP from that entire play.
This guy's good, man. And Dark Mail comes up and just immediately loses half of his HP. He had to pick up an early salve as well just to try and effectively trade. But yeah, this is super rough. 19-4 versus the 9-1 with 2 kills under the belt here for Quinn.
He's close to level 5. The Storm's level 3. This is an absolute disaster and one of the perfect scenarios for Gaimin because they don't have to think about mid lane, right? Of course, Lina naturally doesn't really need help here.
He's 7 stacked Fiery Soul, and he's not going to drop these anytime soon. He is just going to constantly throw damage into the Storm Spirit. Yeah. I know it sounds like we're harping on the mid lane a lot, but again, this is like 24-pick Storm into the Lina, and this is like the lane that has to also go well for this side of Wawitas, and Storm might just be dead.
He's... Quinn, come on.
Here's another Dragon Sleep. Ooh, nice raindrop delivery there. Tries to get him with the attack slow. Light Strike away connects though. Yeah, there's just no TPs coming this way. Quinn just another solo kill as Tofu was even coming to secure the kill, secure the rune, or even the kill if necessary.
But if you click on the Ench and the Pugna real quick, you think either of these heroes are going to rotate and change that scenario, right? The level 2 Ench with an enchant and a heal, or the level 2 Pugna with a held point in decrep into a magical damage lean. Like, their supports can't help him. And now Tofu's like, you know what, boss? You're a jungle Storm Spirit at 4 minutes 30. I'm just going to come and annoy you a little bit. He's got the ward to see where he's farming, and yeah, this is probably... It's been a long time since I've seen like the classic mid lane, right? Like the honest battle between two mid laners. You get the solo kill, the second kill, and you shove them to jungle. Like that rarely happens nowadays, but yeah, we've seen it here. Quinn has just slaughtered the Storm Spirit.
Which was expected. I mean, we knew that this lane was really bad. Yep. The first blood just made it so much worse than it needed to be, I think. Because he's level 6 now. I mean, Laguna Blade is online. This is... Any hero that tries to contest Quinn in this lane is probably dead. He also has his mana boots done. Jeez.
I'm sure Gabby's watching this, giggling away.
For a moment, I'm like, what? But yeah, I forgot about that.
If you were here yesterday watching the Blacklist game against him, then you'll know the context, guys. All right. That's for the true fans. Oh my God, Dark Mega just comes back to mid and dies again.
It's not the heat. It's
yeah, raindrops will not save you from 4 points Dragon Slave in a Laguna Blade. I'll be honest. Yeah, he does a really good job at popping the raindrops with the Light Strike Array, and then the big spells come out. That's just so smart, man.
Just so you're aware, by the way, since this has all been happening, Ace has now shoved the Naga Siren to full-time jungle. Panda's getting dove top and dying. And CK's free farming bot lane.
Yeah, they've lost all 3 lanes. I mean, Oscar can kind of farm on the Primal Beast at least, because it is still kind of early and he's tanky. But yeah, top lane has been a disaster. They have nothing that they can do to the Centaur now. And Lumiere was forced out as a result. And Celery's Chen is going to start just absolutely dominating the map.
Okay.
Yeah. This Chen is going to pass the Storm Spirit, by the way, in net worth as soon as these towers go down.
I think Storm Spirit might get passed by all 5 players on Gaimin Gladiator.
Before the towers go down. So yeah, Storm Spirit will go below the Shadow Demon when the towers go down. There they go.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
If you want to try and find some hope for Dire, it is the fact that losing your tier 1 tower... Oh, wait a second, doesn't matter. He's just dead again.
Do you want to hit me with the Hopium you just had a moment ago? Where did that go?
If he got to the tier 2 and farmed from the tier 2, maybe it's a little bit safer, right? More armor to provide, but it doesn't matter because he's dying to magic anyway. I was trying to provide a little bit of Hopium. It was like a 1% Hopium, but 6-0 for the kills, 5,000 gold lead. Gaimin Gladiators are currently on autopilot in this game because the Vanguard now complete for Ace. 5,000 net worth to the Lina, 4,000 to the Centaur, and both the carries in the game are sitting at 3,500.
Top lane, they'll find the Enchantress as well. Lumiere is trying to offer some assistance, but it's just way too strong. The Stampede comes out. Lumiere forced to disengage. Knight's trying to get the solo kill on the Tofu. He will. We are on the board, baby. 1 kill for Wawitas here as Knight now needs to run for his life. He's like, let me get my mana boots, bro. Just let me get the mana boots, please. Oh, Decrep, the ankle break? All right, come on, man. That was sick.
He's using the Centaur's phase boots to then get the free path and to run back for him. Wow. You gotta get the small victories.
you gotta take what you can get, man.
Yeah. Storm Spirit, all he can get is a little bit of jungle. Because Celery's farming up the rest of the stacks that Primal might want to farm.
Did Celery get like hurricaned into the Primal Beast there? I'm pretty sure he did. Well, speaking of the Hurricane, he uses it himself this time to get him out of danger, and he's just gonna walk right into this Chaos Knight, who's gonna turn his attention over to Panda as well. LSA comes through, unstoppable spree now for the Lina. Yeah, I think the jungle creep like harpooned him to the I keep saying harpooned, hurricaned him to the low ground, and Primal Beast was like, "Hello there," and then kind of gets baited instead, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, such is life, and we're... The difficulty now for Wawitas is that draft doesn't really have ways to make plays, right? Primal wants to farm, Storm wants to farm, Naga wants to farm, so we'll see if they can find any farm here, but Gaimin Gladiators, they're not going to give any rest, right? They sweep throughout the map, they're going to keep finding as many kills as possible. It's 9 minutes into the game, and I can draw them, I can't draw the minimap, but still, it feels like they're only playing at tier 2s now. Like, that is 9 minutes into the game.
Oof. Your Primal Beast goes down bottom, who, I mean, he's at... Oh, I was about to say he's at least getting some XP, but he isn't even level 6. So he's not really getting XP. Did they lose both Wisdom Runes too? I didn't even... This is something that I just forget to look at. Okay, they did get one at least.
They got one, yeah. I mean, Storm's level 6, mate. Of course they got a Wisdom Rune.
Nice one.
Oh, no.
Now you have a level 10
memes,
Lina with Aether Lens and Boots of Travel at 10 minutes. He has 6,500 net worth. And it's not even like the other cores are that far behind, right? Like, his other two cores are like, yeah, just chilling. Dyrachyo Armlet on his way to the Echo Saber, and of course, we talked about with Ace, early Vanguard phase boots. He's halfway to his Blink Dagger, more than halfway to his Blink Dagger at this point. All right, obviously we have to slow down the game, right? For Thunder, or I'm sorry, for Wawitas. What do we do here? How do we do that?
Okay, so the saving grace is Gaimin Gladiators don't really have the best game-ending tower damage, right? Like, they can take outer towers with Chen and Lina right clicks, but when they get to tier 3s, it can be difficult. So for Wawitas, it's to brush off the fact that they got slaughtered in lanes, and just to focus on if we can get to like Manta Orchid Naga to some type of item on Oscar, because he also has practically no game. Then when they come up to that high ground, Storm jumps in, you execute that aggressive hero, and then maybe you can play it out. But of course, with Chen Hill, with Disruption, with Stampede, it's not going to be easy. But you need to, as a team, communicate what is that one fight you're going to play for, and everyone needs to align their farm to try and get to that moment, to get to that fight. It's like, do you agree to give up Proshans? Do you agree to give up all tier 2s? Unfortunately, they are just dying to Quinn and the smoke. But yeah, in this type of game, it's a lot of despair, but you need your team to speak up and actually communicate where the comeback can maybe occur.
They're looking for Quinn mid. LSA does connect, but not onto the Primal Beast, and Quinn will finally go down. The Stampede coming in as Dyrachyo is going to try and clean up here on this Chaos Knight, looking for Dark Mago on the Storm. He has got a little bit of mana left. We'll buy him a little bit of space. Does have to find a bounty rune here, so a couple bottles as well. But there's a fight in the mid lane breaking down, and they're looking to grab the Enchantress Panda. No one touchable to save him as Demonic Purge comes out. Knight will TP on home. But the damage is done bottom as Dark Mago eventually falls to the Chaos Knight. There is no way he escapes.
And if you look at the fight recap, right, for a near 1 minute drawn out engagement, yes, it's a 1,000 gold swing, 800 if you take into account what Gaimin obtained, but it all practically goes into this Pugna. This is not what you really want to get, right? Like a big streak on the Lina, we finally got Quinn, he's been slaughtering our mid lane, this is our moment, and Pugna whips out an Aether Lens. It's like, oh, okay. But still, finding even one kill is pretty important. Oh, what?
That's the blink reveal.
That's the blink reveal. Yep.
Well, actually, that might not even have been a blink reveal. He might have already had that. Either way, Ace just ready and waiting, looking for any opening. And they've got the follow-up, man. Like, Celery is always relatively close. Dyrachyo, of course, in the CK was just farming in the neighborhood. All right, they've got Quinn. They're going to try and bring him down quick, and they do. Wait. Just wait. There's no way. There's no way. Ace with a 3-hero stomp. Oh, no. Little bit of miscommunication. They thought they had it. They're just going to give it to the Primal Beast, and it's a disaster, man.
No.
Oh,
all right,
God.
If I ever request a replay, can I get a replay of that one, please?
He got the LSA off somehow before the Pulverize. And Dark Mago's about to walk right up into a Chaos Knight. Does manage to keep zipping this. Oh, doesn't dodge the final bit. And oh boy.
Yeah.
That's some damage. Combine that with a Solar Crest. Your boy's at negative armor. Oh, here we go. Okay.
So they sing to initiate onto Quinn. They start with the Ensnare. They get on top of him. And beautiful LSA to stop the... Yeah. They just needed a drop of damage, but yeah, beautiful spell casting there from Quinn, and that really just summarizes the game there.
Yeah.
We come back into even more death and destruction occurring. It's 14 minutes into the game, guys. Take a breather. Don't give Celery Chen. The man's more farm than your enemy mid laner, and he's been living in the dire triangle for nearly the last, 8 minutes of the game, it feels like. This is probably the hardest game I've ever had to cast, mate. I'll be honest. This is
It's up there, for sure.
This is up there.
There's just like nowhere to play, it feels like, and I don't even know what their comeback is. Like,
the comeback, it really is just about Gaimin mis-executing, right? Like, in these types of games, if Gaimin, for example, spends too long going for the Tormentors and opens up the map a little bit, if Naga gets to Manta, then suddenly she's looking for a right. But she's rushed the Orchid. They're trying to go into Ace. They are actually going to be able to get a kill, right? Ooh, that decrep kind of maybe spook for a second, but it's all good.
Yeah. It does at least amp the soul burn, but yeah, I was a little bit worried with the Chen heal as well. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lumiere is going to TP in. He wants to just fight, I guess, with this Orchid. They will go ahead and jump onto the Chaos Knight, but Tofu is here,
another
and
LSA.
So is Quinn. So they managed to turn this one around into a quick 2 kills. As it just doesn't seem like Wawitas was on the same page there. Lumiere's like, all right, I want to fight, I want to battle, and meanwhile, Dark Mago is pushing mid. Your Enchantress is trying to cut lanes.
Wawitas kind of wish they had some damage on their supports, right? Like, imagine if they had like a Skyreth mage right now. The game would be as despair, but it's if you get one Vortex, one Pulverize, you're gonna get a kill, right? It at least simplifies your comeback. When you have Ench and Pugna, there's no real comeback aggression. It's both kind of utility supporting each other, and that's not the best recipe for success. And we do have the funny number, but in reverse.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. I like funny numbers. Let's go.
Just don't look at the scoreboard. There's a lot of funny numbers on Dire as well.
Yeah.
Just in the death category.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Gaming Gladiators,
if you don't look at
it,
it doesn't exist, right?
That is true. Again, for Wawitas, I do hope that this game is most likely a loss. You'd be a fool to think otherwise, and I hope that they can bounce back mentally, because these are some soul-destroying games, especially in Game 1. There is a second game. They aren't out of the tournament yet. So Game 2 will be crucial for Wawitas to shrug this one off, chalk it up to draft, and get back your heads into the game. As Gaimin at 17 minutes do look to take the first racks of the game.
Just so much. There's so many problems with like stopping this push as well. Like outside of the fact that there is a Chen here, but you have 2 heroes at like 25 HP or 2500 HP and 3000 HP, and then at any time you have this Aether Lens Lina who is just going to instantly kill a target. So
yeah, it's over, boss.
They're gonna go ahead and pop a fortification, buy themselves some time, but that will be their last fort. Dark Mago does have the Kaya Sanj completed. He's like, all right, I maybe I can find an opening on the backline here. Maybe I can grab the Shadow Demon or the Chen and get us on the board here in a fight, but Dark Mago does bait out the Stampede. In comes Oscar. They're looking for the Chaos Knight, and Decrep into the Pulverize. The damage, Duraccio goes down.
Nice.
Meanwhile, though, it's going to cost you Lumiere potentially. He's songed into this one on the backside, and there it is. Ace has the damage. They've got to get out. The damage from Quinn, though, from the high ground, doing some work. Oscar trying to survive, but a nice stomp from Ace, and Quinn with even more damage being thrown in as Ace, dude, these double edges are doing just so much, and it looked like potentially an opening here for Wawitas to get into this game, but instead, it's just an opening for Gaimin Gladiators to take another lane of barracks, and there it is. The GG comes out.
I'll give credit real quick to Wawitas. That's a pretty cool way to take the fight, right? Because the Naga had the song on just the... okay, it doesn't get the kill.